Hello traders, and welcome to Trading the Trend. I am Dennis, and this is my weekend report for week ending June 17th. And right now we are looking at the S&P 500, and that's what the candle we're looking at right now. That's the weekly candle. I'm looking at 2 years worth of candles here, and we've been very much range bound for the last 2 years. I mean, we just cannot get out of this range. The market's not trending. It's just kind of moving sideways. We're kind of in the upper portion of that range, and we're really not that far from all-time highs. The line right here is where we started the year at, so we're also just barely positive for the year. But for the week, you know, it was a down candle. I kind of expected that after we had the little reversal there in the previous week. We really only had one up day. Thursday was a positive day. The other 4 days were down, and that was a pretty good reversal we had on Thursday. That's what gave us this tail. So, but we didn't get any continuation on Friday. So we'll just have to see what the following week has in store for us for stocks. Not a whole lot of movement is what we're seeing right now. Let's move on to some commodities. And here is the Gold Miners Weekly. You know, we've had a couple good moves 2 weeks in a row. And here we are. We had a bit of a down week, but not that bad. We actually, earlier in the week, we actually hit a new yearly high. So, you know, all seems to be good in commodities. If we take a quick look at gold, it actually had a positive week, and it hit this line of resistance from this high back on January of 2015. So that's an important level. We need to see it get through. Silver, same way, had a pretty good week. Now if we look at oil, and let's focus in a little bit. You know, we had the pin bar reversal there last week, and then this week we have a reversal in the other direction. And if you look at it on the daily, you'll see we came right down to the 50-day moving average. These moving averages are not just invisible lines on a chart. The market definitely watches those and responds to them. But you see we have a nice little bounce, engulfing candle, so I would definitely expect oil to continue upwards next week. Now let's see how this is all affecting our currencies. And we'll start by looking at my strong week rankings, and here we have the yen is just tearing it up. The yen has just been on fire this past week. The pound and the euro are in terrible shape, and they're actually selling off together. And I'm sure this has a lot to do with the vote coming up this next week. I think it's on Thursday that they're having a vote on whether to leave the European Union. That is the British pound, and I don't really know what the ramifications of all that is, but there is a lot of debate going on whether they should or shouldn't leave. But that's what's influencing these. So I'm just kind of staying away from these two pairs right now, because we just don't know which way the market's going to go after that vote. So I'll just leave those be. Now let's look at some actual currency pairs. And here we have the euro, US dollar, and of course there's that 2-year long sideways consolidation. I don't think we're ever going to get out of this thing. We had the big, 2 weeks ago, we had the big engulfing candle up. Last week we pulled back a bit, and then this week we pulled back some more, but then we reversed, and we ended up with a little reversal candle. So maybe we can get some continuation there and move to the upside. But we'll be watching this red line here, because that red line has been resistance that we just cannot get a close above. I mean, look at all these touches, and every time we try to get above it, we come right back down. So we'll be watching for that. Now let's move on to Aussie US dollar. This is a little interesting. Now we had the nice engulfing candle a couple weeks ago. In the last 2 weeks, we've just been sitting here, and the stock market was has been down. So when the stock market is down, you would expect the Aussie US dollar to also be down, but it's holding its own pretty good here. So if we get a good up week in stocks, then this thing could shoot higher. So I'll be definitely watching for that. And then let's look at the, now if you want to see a trend, let's look at the US dollar yen. Now this is a trend, and it is headed down. I mean, it's just, what do? We hit a high back in end of May in last year, 2015, and we just been making lower lows ever since. And then here we get another lower low. So you know, the rule has been on these pullbacks, you short it, and you could short it here or just wait for another pullback and then go short. But there's nothing saying that this is going to end anytime soon, so we'll keep playing it to the short side until it does end. Let's see, is there anything else here we want to look at? How about the US dollar, Canadian dollar? This has been going back and forth, and it's kind of in a bit of a tug and war here, so can't really do a whole lot. We had a bit of a reversal, but it's really just kind of stuck here in a sideways range. It's not really reacting well to the price of gold, to the price of oil. Maybe if oil shoots up, this will shoot down, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I think that's about all I really wanted to show you this week. For those of you in the U.S., it is Happy Father's Day, so Happy Father's Day, and I will catch you all later. Have a good one.